Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be an exciting one because I'm doing my setup for the new year 2020. We have a lot of trackers and logs to set up, so let's get started. My new bullet journal is from Archer & Olive and it has simple black covers and no detailing. Last year my notebook was a B5 size, which is a bit bigger than A5, but this year I went back to the A5. On the first page of this journal I'm doing my key. I've been bullet journaling for a couple of years now, so I pretty much remember all the symbols that I use, but this is always a nice way to start a journal. I actually just realized that I forgot to put one of my symbols here. I use a square if I need to buy an item. I'll just have to fix that later. Next, I'm doing a simple cover that says Hello 2020. I usually like to keep my yearly pages a bit more simple, so for this page I'm just drawing some stars and sparkles. I don't know about you, but for me the first couple of pages are always the hardest ones in the new journal, because I'm so scared that I'm going to mess everything up. And because I'm so anxious, all my lines are shaky. So you see me use a lot of ruler in this setup. Next I have my future log. I haven't done a year at a glance page since my first bullet journal, because if I need to check a date or whatever, I always use the small calendars in my future log. For this future log, I'm dividing a page for 3 parts, so that I have 6 months in one spread. And again, I kept this really simple. When I do my monthly themes, I usually pick one accent color for each month. So I was thinking of coloring all the headers with that month's color, so in the end of the year these pages are going to be filled with all the colors that I've used throughout the year. And for the next 2 pages I'm doing exactly the same thing. By the way, this notebook has only 160 pages and I'm not sure if that's going to be enough for me. So I might have to migrate into a new journal in the middle of the year, or then I could add some pages from another notebook. It would be so satisfying to have 1 year in one book. I actually have never had a whole year in one book, because at some point I always want to start fresh or something like that and end up buying a new notebook. But maybe, just maybe, this could be the year that I stick to this one journal. On the next page I have my 2020 goals. In the start of a new year, I like to set some bigger goals or things that I want to achieve that year, but in the last couple of years my problem has been that my goals have just stayed there in the beginning of a journal and I've never really looked back and considered how to actually achieve them. So this year I was thinking of doing things a little bit different. I'm still setting these bigger goals, but in my monthly setups I want to set some smaller goals that will help me to achieve the bigger ones. In that way I hopefully won't feel so overwhelmed. And the bigger goals that I have, I decided to divide into 4 different categories: work, health, art and life. On the bottom of this page I made a decoration with some geometric shapes, and I ended up liking it so much that I decided to use this on the next page as well. The next page is called 20 in 2020, which is basically a bucket list for next year. I'm going to be writing down 20 things that I want to do or experience next year, and maybe color the shapes as I check things off my lists. Okay, next I have my when did I last page. I've had this spread in every journal and I think it's super helpful for tracking things that you're supposed to do quite regularly. I have all the numbers of the week on top, and on the left side I'm going to be writing all the tasks that I want to track, like vacuuming or doing laundry. And whenever I complete a task, I'll do a dot to the corresponding week. On the same spread, I actually did a bills tracker as well. I haven't had this tracker in my journal before, but I decided to give it a try. I drew these blocks that I sectioned into 12 parts so that each month has its own box. And I made sure that the boxes are big enough to fit the amounts inside. I only did 2 of these, but you can easily do as many as you need. Oh, and I decided not to write down the titles, but to doodle these little icons for electricity and phone bills. Next, I'm doing a health tracker, which is basically just a simple weight tracker. For this, I turned my notebook around so that I can have some more space. This notebook doesn't quite have enough space for all 52 weeks, but in the end of the year I can glue some additional paper to fit the last few weeks. Next to that, I have a finance tracker, in which I was thinking of tracking my savings and debts. Last year I graduated from university, so this is going to be the year that I start paying back my student loan. I did 3 of these trackers for now and left some space if I want to start saving for something else in the middle of the year. But these trackers basically have the same idea as the bills tracker. I have a box for each month that I can write down the amount that I saved or paid. Then I realized I only did 11 boxes, but gladly it was easy to fix. On the next page, I'm doing my social media growth tracker. Here I'm doing a simple graph to track my followers on Instagram and YouTube. I wanted to save some space and did these in the same tracker, but since my accounts have different amount of followers, I made two different scales as well. So on the left side you see my Instagram followers, and on the right side my YouTube subscribers. Next to this tracker I did a new kind of spread. This is a page where I'm going to be collecting all my themes of 2020. This page doesn't really have a purpose other than I think it's gonna look cute and it'll be nice to see all the themes in one page. Okay, we're getting closer to the end of this setup. The last yearly spread that I did is for my work. I didn't really do anything too crazy with this page other than some decoration with a gray marker. I just left a lot of space for any ideas or tracking or whatever I need to do. And here is my final flip through of my 2020 setup. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and I will see you in my next one. Bye!